it was in the heart of the recession. The recession had just hit. A lot of people were kind of saying, you know, this is a really bad time to start a business. And I thought, you know what, it's time to kind of start creating my own thing. And that's where RSViP was born.
Yeah.
Over the years, absolutely, you know, there's been collaborative approaches where people have gone into actually business partnerships with one another, having met at the events.
Okay.
We even had an international member that used to fly in and tie their visits to the UK. Watch this space with RSViP. Global.
Global. So today, another beer with Born, and this time it's with Fiona. And Fiona is the, well, are you the, what would you say you are?
Founder, owner.
Founder, owner, MD.
Yeah.
Person of all. For gaffer, like that, gaffer, for the RSViP in Nottingham.
Yes,
So cheers, Fiona.
Cheers
Welcome to
you,
Beer with
Sean.
Born.
Thanks for having me.
And no, absolute pleasure. And actually, it's just after a bank holiday weekend. We're all a little bit, so I've got a coffee and a beer. You've got a juice and a beer.
Yeah, a little bit fragile.
Bit fragile, but that all adds to
dog.
it. Hair of the dog. Love it, love it. So that's all good. So yeah, so how, what's your background, Fiona? Because I have only ever known you from RSViP.
Yeah, and we've known each other for years, haven't we?
Donkey's
actually?
years. I was trying to think. It's a long time,
It is
actually.
actually. It's a good few years you've been a member of RSViP. I want to say about 8 or 9 years.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, it's funny that you can know people this long and then not really kind of venture into their background. So yeah, thank you for asking.
That's all right.
Yeah, so my background is actually, if you go way back, it's theatre. So I actually studied theatre design in Nottingham at Trent.
I didn't know that.
You know, yeah. So I've got a bit of a creative background. Always been creative from a very young age, and always thought that I'd kind of go into some kind of creative industry of some kind. I was really good at 3D design when I was at college, which is what led me to go into theatre design. Did my art and design A-levels and all of that. And then I still wasn't sure really what I was going to do. So that's when I went to uni and studied theatre. But then after graduation, I thought, right, now you have to take the leap to go into the West End, move down to London and do it, really go for it.
Yeah.
Or you can't really kind of make if you stay in Nottingham, it's not really probably going to happen, quite limited. So at the time I had a big life here, you know, family, friends. I was only young, I graduated at 21. And so I decided that I was going to stay and just make the most of my career here for a while until I really knew what I wanted to do. And
so are you from Nottingham then?
I'm from Nottingham, born
So you
and
studied
bred,
at Nottingham?
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, I had the option, obviously, to move away.
Yeah.
My first choice was Nottingham Trent University because they happened to have the course that I wanted.
Yeah.
And luckily, I got in with my first choice, so I didn't actually have to move away. So it saved me a fortune. So I stayed living at home. I didn't have the full uni experience, don't get me wrong, but yeah. So I studied theatre. Decided that after that, I would go into sales randomly. So I worked for the big blue chip corporate company for a while. Had that kind of experience in sales, and then realised after a couple of years, did what I needed to do there, and realised that that wasn't the industry I wanted to be in. I wanted something a bit more glamorous. But what I did there, what it really taught me was really good values of social skills. And also obviously sales. So from that, I then went into advertising. So it was quite a nice link. So I went in and worked for a glossy lifestyle magazine.
Oh, nice.
A regional magazine for about a year and a half. And then it was interesting because that kind of experience, that working for the magazine, gave me an insight into a bit more of a glamorous world of events. So I was having to go to quite a lot of events to sell the advertising. That was my role. So it was selling advertising space. And it was sort of a telly field sales rep kind of, you know, I was a young 20-something. It was a perfect job for me. It got me out and about. I was a people person. And I also got the chance to get involved in writing for the magazine as well. So I put myself forward as an editorial contributor. So that was great. And that was kind of my first experience in the world of writing and seeing my work published. So I got the buzz for it really. And then after that, it was kind of, you know what, I'm kind of sick of making money that's going to go into somebody else's back pocket rather go into mine. So I've always been really entrepreneurial. I knew one day I'd end up taking the leap to be self-employed and do my own thing. And it was in 2007 that I kind of got the itch. And I thought, you know what, it's time to kind of start creating my own thing. And that's where RSViP was born.
So that's what inspired you?
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
what inspired me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And how many years has RSViP sort of been around?
So I launched it in 2008. So from concept and light bulb moment.
I was going to say, was there a light bulb moment?
There was, yeah. I was away. So I was still working at the magazine at the time. It was in the heart of the recession. The recession had just hit. A lot of people were kind of saying, you know, this is a really bad time to start a business. So I almost jacked it in and decided not to do it. I had all the doubts in the world, but something was telling me just to keep going and keep doing it. I thought, you know what, I haven't really got a huge amount to lose. Let's just go with it. So I did, and I launched it in 2008. It took 9 months from light bulb moment to launch. And it was difficult. It was a bit of an uphill struggle for the first couple of years, you know, launching a business in recession.
God, yeah.
And also something that I had created. The concept was very unique and different to anything else that was out there. And so to try to educate people as to what I was trying to achieve and for them to understand it and buy into that concept was a real challenge.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until about year 3 of the business that I started to see really any traction and profit from it.
Sure.
But yeah, looking back now, we're in 17 years.
17?
This year. So in answer to your question, it's been quite a long time now.
Hasn't it?
So yeah, we must be doing something right.
I think you do. I mean, you definitely do. Yeah, it's always a good vibe. You get a real good mixture of people there. And I've noticed actually recently there's been quite a lot of new faces, slightly younger.
Yes.
So that they're coming into the business world, which is great.
Because we're getting older, Sean.
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah.
It did cross my mind. This.
Yeah. God, yeah. Thinking about it, it could be.
All these professionals coming through the door.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, it's quite comical.
But no, you are right, yeah.
And yeah, there's always a good mix. The venue changes, which is cool. So we're in the Cozy Club today, but actually we're here again on Thursday.
We are, for our event,
For your event. So
yeah, and this is a fantastic space to use for events. And that is one of our USPs, you know, at RSViP. We pick really great venues to work with. We have really strong relationships with a lot of the hospitality industry across Nottinghamshire as a city. And, you know, they've always been fantastic at supporting us and vice versa. And, you know, it is a collaborative approach and it has to be. And that's what makes it work. You know, it's a mutually beneficial agreement with us for, you know, we bring our good quality and valuable network to people's venues and it allows them to showcase their fantastic facilities. Yeah, exactly. So we have a great time doing it.
You do. It's fun. It's fun. Look, Carly behind the camera there came to one of your events actually and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think you get a really good cross-section of businesses. You know, if you could just let us know, just tell us sort of the variety of businesses you get. I mean, I roughly know, but for other people who might want to come along.
So demographic-wise, it's really varied, as you say, and diverse. So there isn't really any industry that we discount, but we have quite a strong area of law, finance, property, kind of that kind of sector. But then we have quite a strong hospitality sector as well. And that's obviously because we move our events around to different venues every month. So over 17 years, we've managed to build a good portfolio.
Both places in Nottingham.
Exactly. Yeah, so hospitality really strong. So that covers, you know, your bars, restaurants, hotels. We've hosted our events in some really unusual venues though, because we've even gone into car showrooms.
Yes.
Before. I don't know if you remember that one. Audi.
Audi. That was good. It was a good evening.
Other car sales showrooms are also
available. Yeah. I think you should tap Porsche up.
We also did one at Porsche actually a few years ago, but it was the old garage. So now they've moved in Nottingham.
Yes, I can remember you did.
Yeah, so and you know, anywhere is kind of fair game as long as they can house our capacity. We are a large venue. We get around, as you know, 100 people a month roughly.
You do.
So they need to have, you know, space and facilities for that amount of people to be able to stand really.
Yeah.
We don't like people sitting down at our events too much.
No, we like people to move around and work the room.
Exactly.
But I say we then, I meant because I'm
It is a
member.
we. You
It is
are a
we.
long-standing
But
member, yeah.
You do have some great events at Paul Smith.
Yes, yeah.
Now, is there a connection there, or is that just me second guessing?
Connection-wise, not so much, not any deeper than the fact that we've got a great relationship and have had a great relationship with the Nottingham Willoughby House store for many years.
Yeah.
They were members of ours for many years. And then as such, they hosted some events for us. And we kind of tied it in with garden party themes because they've got that beautiful garden. That was always a very popular one.
Yeah.
So retail stores, we've done quite a few. We've done some at Reese.
Oh, Reese downstairs. We've had a yes, I did.
We had a DJ.
There was a DJ.
We did.
And
Hugo Boss.
What thing I do really think is valuable for helping Nottingham people is you always have a charity, which I think is a really honourable thing.
Yes.
To bring a charity along, so they can tell the business community what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
We can hopefully try and help them in some way.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great thing. That's always something that I've thought's very. So it's embedded into your culture. It's a nice thing.
It is. It's a culture. It's part of your values as a business. And I think we've got a social responsibility as well to actually utilise the platform that I've created over the years to share that with people like charities, like local organisations, non-profits, smaller businesses, startups, that kind of thing, who perhaps need that, leg up and lift and support network around them in their early days or early careers of their business, but also charities, especially. We have so many local charities in Nottinghamshire, don't we?
Yeah.
And
they all struggle a bit. They'll need a help.
At the moment, especially, in this current climate, especially, like many businesses. But, we support 11 charities a year. So rather than having one charity that we support all year round, which often, is fantastic, we choose to support 11 a year. So it's one a month, and we give them kind of an option to come along and exhibit with us. So,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I've had some good conversations with the charities at your events. That's always been great. So has there been a super duper sort of success story that you've heard about through members where there's been like a big deal gone down? Or
where do I start? Over the years, what I love is one of my most favourite things is hearing the success stories, I think, really. And yes, there's been many. Often it's difficult because we don't monitor, if you like. There's not a real way of being able to monitor the ROIs, if you like, of networking, because it's not like you're doing digital marketing like you can and that kind of thing.
That's it.
So this is kind of human to human kind of
very much
interaction, isn't it? So what happens in the room or what happens outside of the room
sometimes
off the back of our events, we're not going to know unless people are willing to share their stories with us. So often it's lovely to hear those stories. And over the years, absolutely, there's been collaborative approaches where people have gone into actually business partnerships with one another, having met at the event. Strategic partnerships, collaborative approaches of things where people have collaborated with projects or events or that kind of thing. Obviously, a lot of business has been generated. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of business has been generated over the years. Again, we can't put a figure on it because we don't ask everybody how much they make from a business interaction or transaction. But it goes without saying.
Well, I've certainly found suppliers. We did a collab with Bottle Top.
Okay,
So there was a piece of work it was outside of our skill set. I knew them through meeting them at your events for years. So it was just to pick the phone up. Yeah, we can sort it. They were brilliant. So that was a really nice little collab, and who knows, it might happen again.
Great.
Our teams know their teams now and such like, so that's great.
And it's relationship building, that's what it's about,
people
isn't
buy
it?
from people.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why RSViP works, because it's certainly not a BNI.
No.
Oh dear me, it sends a shudder down the spine. But no, certainly you get to know people on a personal level and you see them repeatedly. You get over a period of time and then you're kind of more relaxed to go, oh, can I have a word?
Absolutely.
Can you help?
Absolutely.
That sort of thing.
I mean, people say to me, what am I going to get from networking? Especially in the early days when networking wasn't really a thing and people didn't really understand the concept of it. And I used to say, okay, networking, yes, okay, you're going to generate some business from it eventually. It's a slow burner because you've got to build the relationships, you've got to nurture them, you've got to invest time and energy. It's not always that you're going to go to an event and come away with a sale. It's not like that. You don't sell. But also, it's that peer support. So you're going to meet people that are perhaps in your industry.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be able to talk shop with. You're going to be able to talk about the latest business trends.
Oh, completely.
You're going to be able to get support from or support others. And then there's also the whole thing of learning from people just through conversation, through storytelling. You might come away feeling inspired or motivated.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's really good. I always find is you can go to an RSViP event and you can always come away knowing something that's happening in Nottingham as a city. Like, oh, they've heard that building's changing to this. Yeah. Have you heard this is happening?
Absolutely.
That's vital. And it's just a great night. I'll sort of say, my wife will be like, what you got on this week? And I'll sort of say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Thursday night RSViP. She was like, oh, great. See you when you get home then. Because there is a little bit of there is a few of us sometimes go out into town.
There's a social element to it.
Yeah, we carry it on a little bit more.
And that was the whole intention. This is why I created it, because a lot of the events that I was going to prior to launching RSViP, when I was at the magazine in advertising, a lot of them were, admittedly quite stiff and boring, very heavily structured, lacked diversity. There was no one there that were kind of, my age or my gender, actually, in fact.
Okay.
And actually, to be quite honest with you, I felt like there was a big gap in the market for launching something that was not only more diverse and inclusive, but also fun and social.
Well, now I know it's been 17 years, which is wow. I can imagine back then it was very dry.
It was dry.
It really was. People turned up in the suits and...
Absolutely.
Now it's, you turn up smart, but, it's a bit more... You can always tell.
Much more relaxed.
It's like solicitors are there, creatives are there. You can kind of see them, can't you?
It's the different groups.
Yeah, you can. It's quite funny, but we all mingle and we all talk.
Absolutely.
And that's the nice thing, actually. That is a very cool thing. So
people make friends out there, like you say as well. So there's been lots of friendships. And you asked about success stories, and just before you move on with the next question, I just wanted to pop in there that we have actually had 2 RSViP weddings.
Really?
Yeah. So 2 people have met at RSViP. I don't know if I should mention them.
Let's not mention them. Let's not name.
There's been 2 people.
Wow, I didn't know
2
that.
separate couples that had met at RSViP events and ended up getting hitched. So, I mean, I never got an invite to either one of them.
Oh.
I was like filler waiting for my, gonna get my hat.
Oh, wow.
No, one of them was a destination wedding. But honestly, it was lovely.
Yeah.
It's so lovely to know that we kind of, we're not a matchmaking service.
That's cool.
At the end of the day, it's human beings.
It's human beings in a room, having a chat, chilling out. And like you say, I've met people from London.
Yeah.
All over the country.
All over,
And I'm like expecting them to go, oh yeah, Nottingham, mate.
Yeah.
No.
We even had an international member that used to fly in and tie their visits to the UK with our events. So they used to book all their meetings and things around the event week of our event so that they could come along.
Wow, that's impressive. RSViP International.
Global.
Gone global, mate. Gone global. That's cool. Yeah, well, what is next? What's next for RSViP?
Yeah, big question. So with RSViP as it stands, every year I tend to go in it.
Yeah.
I come into a new year launching something new, and I always have. I don't know if you've noticed that. So there's always either a new event that launches, a new collaborative approach with somebody else. There are a few things on the cards that are coming up that are going to be announced. I can't mention them at the moment.
Okay.
Just because they've not been released. Yeah. I'd love to give you the exclusive. Because it is exciting. But there's 2 collaborations with 2, large kind of organisations that we're going to be working together with. To kind of widen the audience, if you like, more than anything. But also, you might be aware we launched 36 at 6, our business brunch event last October, which is going really well.
I came to one of those, really enjoyed it.
Yes, exactly.
Really enjoyed it.
So that's another new event to our portfolio. So the idea with RSViP for me really is just to keep it going, keep building upon what we've what I've already created. Keep strengthening what we've already created, but also to launch new elements to it.
Cool.
Just to, you've got to keep it fresh, keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset that I very much like to stay around 10 steps ahead of my competitors at all times.
Absolutely.
It is one of those things where it's quite apparent that whenever we kind of tend to launch something, or I tend to launch something in Nottingham through RSViP, it tends to have a snowball effect, and then eventually other people tend to jump on the bandwagon with doing similar stuff.
Okay.
So I always kind of like to stay around 10 steps ahead, and it's exhausting, but
I can imagine.
It's one of those
it's
things.
Constantly trying to think of the next thing.
All the time and keep moving. And, I don't have a problem with being a trailblazer in my industry and kind of, encouraging and motivating and inspiring other people in my industry to do better.
Yeah.
And to
raise the bar.
Exactly, raise the bar. I am a creative thinker, so I'm always thinking of new ways in which I can launch new things. So watch this space with RSViP. But on the other side, I do run a training business as well. So
of course, yes.
I also train people how to network.
You do, and you're heavily involved with the university?
Yes, heavily involved with the local universities, and I run my own workshops through corporate companies as well. So just, building and growing that side of the business too.
Brilliant.
Really.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. I'm fiercely loyal to RSViP because
Thank you, Sean.
you were you helped our business. When we first started, I sort of said to Ben, my business partner, he said, right, where are you going to go? I'm like, well, we need some money for that one because that one's happening, and that was you.
Thank you.
And we were just saying off camera before we started, I've just renewed, even though I was probably a couple of weeks late renewing. I was like, must do that. But so I'm looking forward to, it's the one I religiously try and get to each month.
And we love having you as well. Our members like yourself, the long-standing members especially, the loyalty that you show to me and my business, it means a lot.
I think
because you're buying into somebody's small business,
you are
supporting somebody's small business,
true,
which is my business that I created. And I always still do a little dance every time someone joins.
Oh, bless you. That's lovely.
Even from the moment that I launched, 17 years on, every time someone renews or joins and I get a new member, I do a little dance. Because I'm still extremely grateful.
Excited,
grateful that people are believing in what I've created, and that people are actually, it's working for people as well, more so.
I recently had a coffee with a young lady who was accredited in Sheffield, and she moved to Nottingham. She was unaware of the city. Her partner lived in Nottingham, but he didn't do sort of networking, etc. And she sort of, we had a coffee, and she sort of said, where do I go? As much as importantly, where do I not go, etc. And I said, well, you need to be at RSViP, you need to be at a couple of others that actually will more sort of the collective, which is less sort of networking, it's more of the peer-to-peer group,
but industry specific.
But industry specific things.
Yeah.
So, I think I've seen her. I'm sure I've seen her at one of the events. No, that's all right. I'm sure I've seen her at one of the events. And I must make an effort to go and say hello to her when I do see her there.
Well, 75% of our business comes from referrals and recommendations.
We've had a great time.
Members.
You should join or come along. So absolutely. And there's some characters.
Certainly are, as they are.
We all know them.
Yeah, I think with when you've got 100 odd people in the room, you've kind of got a real mix of personalities, haven't you? You've got some extroverts, some introverts, ambiverts like myself, who is kind of a niche.
And I think the lanyard thing works well. So members have a colour, visitors have a lanyard colour, so we know who they are, they know who we are. And I think we should, us members that have been around a while should sort of go, come on, chill out. We're not going to buy, come and have a chat. And actually, that does work very well.
Yeah, no, thank you for the feedback. We do find that works pretty well. And it's something that I kind of launched quite a long time ago, and I've just kept that going with
it works well.
Because, it just helps people to integrate more. If you're new, a lot of people find networking nerve-wracking. And they get very anxious about walking into a very busy room.
Yes.
And so, having that kind of an icebreaker of people knowing that they're perhaps new visitors, our members tend to take them under their wing and introduce them and integrate them into groups. So, it tends to work well.
So, it's been a joy talking to you. Thanks ever so much for coming along. I'm just going to pour myself a little bit more of a beer. And this is the first of the day. So thanks.
Cheers,
so much,
Sean.
Fiona.
Thanks for
Cheers,
having me.
and a pleasure. Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you.
Cheers.